what we're unveiling with Ion, the way that I'm envisioning it is we're building this AI type of technology operating system where we want to create all the tools to build, grow, have great marketing, be on the forefront with AI. We want to build all of that so you can come to one place. Right. Now, that one place could be HIP, that one place could be Neon, but because of Ion, you're able to have that in either path.
Yeah, I think the cool thing is that by merging, we've actually created more opportunity, more options, more customization. Which, based on the conversations that I had, that's what people wanted. They wanted to be able to do a hybridized kind of approach, right, where they could, in their minds, benefit to the greatest degree.
All right, so this is the very first Ion podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Very first one.
Yeah.
And, you've had the Digital Ortho podcast. We've had the Grow Ortho podcast. And so now kind of combining and talking about what we're working on together, which is really exciting because we're going to talk through our first 5 tools and that we've built using AI to serve private practice.
Yeah.
So maybe to open it up, I think this would be good for people to hear from you since you run a practice. What has been the landscape of software, solutions, marketing for private practice owners? Because I feel like it's very fragmented, or has been.
Oh, it has been, and it is.
It is.
I think software-wise, every orthodontic practice has a PMS, practice management software. And so we don't have to go into all that, but that space is super fragmented as it is. Beyond that, you talk to 100 orthodontists, you're going to get 100 different answers as to what other software that they use. Pretty much every orthodontist, if not all orthodontists, have a website. But how many of those have software that actually allow them to optimize the website? Some, not as many as should. And then there's all sorts of other ancillary softwares that help with different things. Clearly, why we're here today is that AI has exploded. Mm-hmm. And obviously, it's not been lost on us, as marketers. Like, what can we do to help develop tools that empower the orthodontist or the private practitioner?
Sure.
And so we've got a few things that we've come up with. And I'll just say this is like Ion represents the combination of the best of Neon Canvas, the best of HIP. And this has been about a year since we merged companies.
Yeah.
And it feels like now we're finally unveiling really what Ion is about, which is exciting, I think.
Yeah, and I think that in the beginning, we were kind of figuring out what Ion would be. Obviously, we came up with the brand. We knew that it would house both HIP and Neon from an ideation standpoint. But what does that mean for our audience, for our clients?
Yeah.
And so I think that's what we're going to be talking about today and kind of showing everybody. And then obviously this episode will be dropping probably right before the AAO. And we'll have an Ion presence there and kind of be demoing this stuff at the booth. So from my perspective too, I mean, we could talk a long time about this, but AI is so new. I don't know that most people know how to use it. Mm-hmm. And it's changing so fast. Like every day there's new options. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting when you go into a private practice, there's so many different softwares that aren't used. And now people are hearing about AI and they're trying to factor that in. I don't know if you've been in any conversations with, orthodontists and about AI and how do I use this in my practice?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it comes up all the time. I'm in at least a dozen active Facebook groups, and it's probably once or twice a week at least that people are asking that very question. What are you doing with AI? How are you using it? How is it helping your practice? And to be fair, most of the answers to that question are pretty rudimentary.
Right.
In the terms of, I use Claude when I want to write something, and I use ChatGPT when I want to create an image or when I want to come up with like an update to my, office manual. it doesn't go a lot deeper. And so I think, obviously like the tools that we're trying to develop to offer to this industry and to make this industry better, we're attempting to make them a little more sophisticated and to actually solve other issues.
Yeah.
And I love AI for what it is at its base level, which is I get to ask it stuff and it tells me, or it'll fix my writing, or all the things that it does. You use it for a lot more than even I do. And so hopefully we'll blow some minds. Honestly,
I hope so, yeah.
I'm excited about like what we're able to do with it and how we're able to empower practices and solve issues that they may not have thought that AI could even solve.
Sure. And I feel like most people are using AI for research because it obviously will grab all the information and bring it to you versus having to do Google searches. But specifically in a private practice, people are also probably wondering, well, how do I use it and stay HIPAA compliant? Because if I want to build these tools and do things, I can't really share detailed information with it. I can't connect it to my softwares. And so maybe some things like Canva or, writing. I feel like everybody now, and we have to be careful about this with our teams, is you can't just write an AI email. Like you actually have to proof it. You have to go through it because I get emails now or Slack messages and it's like, this is just purely AI. And, did you even read this? So yes, what we're doing and what we're launching and what we'll walk through is applications that private practice owners, orthodontists, dentists, other specialties can use today. And they're only going to get better because this is the very beginning. So maybe we can talk just a little bit before we unpack these tools about Ion and kind of the vision behind it. Because there's these brands floating around. People heard Ion in the beginning. There's Hip Creative, there's Neon Canvas. And I'll just say from my perspective, Ion is a place where we're going to develop technology that Hip Creative can use, Neon Canvas can use to kind of power what they're doing. Yeah. But it doesn't really change that there's two separate brands, two different teams, and two different approaches for helping private practice owners.
Yeah, I just see it as like, Neon Canvas is located in Memphis, Hip is located in Pensacola. Ion is sort of like in the cloud, as it were. Yeah. And it's powering both of them. So in some sense, it sits above them, but it also sort of like sets as a foundation for both companies. And that's really where we started. It was going to be like kind of a housing for, education and software and all those sorts of things.
Right.
It is now like truly doing that. And I think what it's becoming is sort of our custom language learning model, or our AI model that's cool. Helping to power all these things that we're doing.
While some people may hear it and it's complicated, or feels complicated, I should say, it's actually quite simple because, you have Meta, right? And then Meta has Facebook and Instagram, then WhatsApp, and they're acquiring other tools and technology too. So it's kind of like that. And I guess we should say that Ion could make other acquisitions too, if it might make sense in the future.
Yeah, sure.
Who knows? So
it made sense for Neon Canvas and Hip, who were competitors for a decade, to come together to work together. And the only reason we did it is, twofold. We wanted to stop competing against each other. There was a lot of time and effort expended to do that. So now we don't have to do that. But it's also like, can we collaborate in a way, in different ways, but in a big way that allows us both to become better for the benefit of our clients? And I can safely say in a year's time, the answer is yes, we've done that. And I think this is just the next step, which could only happen. This is the beautiful thing. It can only happen by combining our forces together, which is fun.
Yeah. And that's to go into the branding and the name. I mean, we don't have to talk too much about this, but that was kind of the idea, is connection, energy, two brands kind of coming together. I wrote down here maybe 5 pillars that we're using to drive the ideas, and the vision is convert better, operate easier, grow faster, scale smarter, run simpler. I think these are all things that all business owners want. They want it to be better, faster, easier. And that's kind of our vision, especially with AI.
Yeah.
So maybe we can jump into the tools and you can just ask me about them.
Sure.
And I'll give a description, explainer, And then if you're watching, we'll also pull up on screen and maybe demo some of these. I say that. We'll see how that goes in post-production.
Well, if it doesn't happen, then this line will have been edited, so it's fine.
You won't even hear it.
So the 5 tools. So we have the AI web builder. That's exciting.
Yes. So this is a AI website builder. And here's the vision. Obviously, we've both, Hip Creative and Neon Canvas, this is my opinion, have created stellar high-end websites. Neon Canvas has even offered photo and video at a certain tier, right? Mm-hmm. And so very high-end custom sites. Now that's great, but what happens if someone can't afford a site like that?
Sure.
What happens if it's maybe mission critical to launch and we don't have a 90-day runway? And so there's all these reasons why this AI website builder makes sense. One, we launched the first one we did recently is kind of a pilot in 7 days. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a lot of custom photography and video, but the budget that the practice had was low. And, maybe some of our, I'll use the word competitors, may offer something at a price point like that. The quality is nowhere near what we launched. So the really cool thing about the AI website builder and some of the cool things about AI like Claude, for instance, is the writing, the structure, the architecture, all that back end is built very quickly. And we've built writing tools specific for private practice that just does a stellar job. Now, you're not going to get the fully custom design. It may not look as good and function as good, but it is a really, really great option. And the way that we've built it is we've allowed owners, doctors to go in and be able to do like a 7-step process to be able to upload certain pictures, choose their colors, make certain customizations, and then they can actually see a preview. Now, the preview is not the final site. Obviously, there's got to be real people to take it over the finish line, but it empowers them to start the process and see a preview of what that looks like before they even contact us.
Yeah. To me, I like analogies. They help me understand. And this, for me, is like young practices, smaller practices who have wanted to work with us because of the work that we can do and the sort of company that we've built. But they can't afford it. We've traditionally had to just say, well, sorry. This technology allows us, from a marginal perspective, to build something at a fair price that is low, that gets them into the ecosystem of Ion, of HIP, Neon, whichever they choose.
Right.
And then one day as they grow, then they can make a more easy move into a higher level, to custom website, to photo and video that's custom, things like that. And to get a website that will produce more for them. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, why do we have a website? Why do we have a social media presence? Why do we do digital marketing? To attract patients, obviously.
Right.
But sometimes it gets lost in the mix of all this. And at a certain level, like when I was, cold, fresh practice, I couldn't have afforded what Neon Canvas charges or Hip Creative charges. And so I would have needed something like this. And so Apple has come out with, I'm a huge MacBook Pro user. It's like my favorite tool that I have.
Same.
Ultimately.
I'd be lost without it.
I would be lost without my MacBook Pro. But now they released this like $500 like effective Chromebook killer that's amazing. And it's an Apple product that's really good. It's not as good as the MacBook Pro, right? And then they're about to release a MacBook Ultra, which I'll probably have to get,
Yeah, but if you're just sending emails and browsing the web or, prompting AI and you're not creating things, you're not using like the Adobe suite, then you don't need
you don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, this is like a really cool thing, which if you're paying any attention to AI, that it can build websites. It can really do anything you'd ask it to do. Of course, if you just go in and you say, hey, build me a website, it's going to be okay. So understand that like with this, we've spent many, many, many hours building the knowledge base such that what comes out of this when we build a website is really good.
Right. And it's launched in a way where it's still secure, it's maintained, and we know that it's going to rank well.
Yeah.
And so, you can go try and do these things on your own. The instant gratification can be nice, but when you go to actually launch the product, in this case a website, good luck, because it probably won't rank. And then it may not work well on certain devices or views. Like if you just go in Claude and make a web page, it's not even formatted for mobile phone.
Well, to me, it reminds me of Wix, Squarespace, these sort of like, even GoDaddy offers this, like websites that can be made really easily. They're sort of sub-functional. They're not going to really hit on a level that's actually where you want to be as a business owner at any level.
Right.
And so, again, this is sort of an entry-level product that we stand by that's going to work great and that, again, can convert into another level that's a little bit higher of a level at a certain point when it's justifiable.
Yeah.
So I'm like super excited about it because it's been a hole in our bucket for a long time. We just have not been able to serve a certain part of the market, and now we can.
And we've tried to in the past,
Sure.
right? We've done things, but it's very, very difficult until now. It's something that AI unlocks for us because everything we do has to be super high quality. And so now we finally have the technology to get there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So that is the AI web builder. And definitely, if you're at the AAO, come by. We can literally show you in a minute or less kind of a preview of what a website could look like. I mean, it's honestly mind-blowing. Having done this for now a decade, it literally blows my mind every time I see one. So come by and see it. Tool number 2, we have the AI patient intake, parentheses, the 24/7 auto reply. Tell me about that.
So this is really conversational AI. There's companies out there who have offered this. We are now offering it as part of our suite, which I'll talk more about this on the next tool, which is going to be Practice Beacon. But essentially, now AI can be your front desk. Now, we're not advocating for it to be your full-time front desk.
Right.
But when your front desk is not there, if a lead comes in at 5:15, 6 p.m., now the voice agent in our software can take the call. In some cases, can even schedule the lead, depending on software, what people are allowing us to do based on the connection that we have with the practice. And it can also do this with SMS, so text message. So, Saturday morning, 9 a.m., lead comes in. Wouldn't it be nice for someone to have a conversation, whether on the phone or via text, get all their information, either schedule them or tee it up for someone's going to be in touch first thing Monday morning to get them scheduled. So with the AI patient intake, I want you guys to hear a call that our agent took and scheduled a new patient with.
Thank you for calling HIP Orthodontics. This is Ava, your virtual new patient concierge. I can help with questions about treatment options, pricing, insurance, and your first visit. What can I help you with today?
Yeah, I was just curious. What kind of treatments do you offer?
Great question. HIP Orthodontics offers a range of treatment options depending on what's best for you. That can include traditional braces, clear braces, and clear aligners like Invisalign. Dr. John will recommend the best option based on your goals and what's going to give you the best result.
Okay, nice. And how does pricing usually work? Do you offer payment plans?
Yeah, absolutely. Treatment costs can vary depending on the type of treatment and complexity, but many patients get started with payments around $199 per month, with down payments starting at $199. HIP Orthodontics offers flexible payment options to make things manageable, and the team will go over all pricing, insurance, and payment details with you during your consultation, so everything is clear up front.
Got it. What happens at the first visit?
Your first visit is designed to be really simple and informative. The team will take a look at your smile, may take photos or a digital scan, and walk you through any recommended treatment options. They'll also review timing, pricing, and answer any questions you have so you feel confident about next steps. The easiest way to get started is I can send you a quick link where you can see all available times and choose what works best for your schedule. It only takes a few seconds. Would you like me to text that to this number?
Yeah, that works.
Perfect. I'll send that right after this call. You'll be able to pick a time that fits your schedule without any back and forth. Is there anything else I can help answer before I send that over?
No, that's it.
Awesome. Thanks for calling HIP Orthodontics. I'll text that link over shortly.
So I would just say every practice needs this. It is not going to replace your front desk, as you said. I think we still need, humans and talented admin team workers to do that work.
Absolutely.
But for the times where it's either voicemail or nothing, this is a pretty good backup.
And I would say most patient opportunities, especially from paid ads, typically come in after hours.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It gives you a lot of options there. Very cool. Does this work through Practice Beacon?
It does work through Practice Beacon. We've kind of broken it out as a new product, like, new patient AI or AI patient intake, whatever you want to call it. But it is driven by Practice Beacon, but really want to market it as a separate piece. So it's highlighted because there's a lot that Practice Beacon can do.
Yeah.
And so we don't want this to get lost in that.
I mean, I think that's awesome. The way that obviously like answering of calls works is that typically someone is calling or considering calling multiple practices. And so if they call yours and you don't answer, there's a chance they go on to the next one.
Right.
So obviously this sort of stops them. And I think it says a lot that on a Saturday morning at 9 a.m. they can get a response back. And then, it's not a real conversation and they know that. There's an exchange between the consumer and the business. They sort of understand that, but it also, it makes them feel like, okay, I've done that part of the task. It's on them now. And so it's hugely powerful.
And I feel like a lot of people are used to this. I mean, I was telling a story today about calling AT&T because my fiber cable broke, and just trying to get the AI to recognize that was so annoying. And that's the cool thing about this is what we're trying to do is so easy. It's not like AT&T where there's 1,000 different reasons why someone could be calling. There's really a couple reasons. And then we've narrowed it down to, hey, our agent can help you if you're trying to do this.
Sure.
If not, here's the phone, number to the practice. Here's the hours that we operate. And we'll also leave a note for the front desk. So there's still a way to kind of add some concierge to that, but it's really an agent dedicated for new patients.
Yeah, that's great. Very cool. All right. Tool 3. Is Tool 3 Practice Beacon?
That's Practice Beacon.
Okay.
So I threw this one in here. Some people may know what Practice Beacon is. A lot of people probably still don't. Essentially, it's a CRM. So if you've heard of Infusionsoft, HubSpot, Pipedrive, Salesforce, it is a derivative of that built specifically for private practice. That's what Practice Beacon is. When you log in, you see a new patient pipeline, like requested the free exam. Did they schedule? Did they no-show? Are they in observation? Did they start treatment? So that's kind of the main view. Then there's a conversation view to field text messages or phone calls that are coming in, from paid traffic, from the website. There's a social media calendar scheduler, so you can connect your social media apps. All the landing pages that we're creating for people, that's all built inside of Practice Beacon. So they don't see that portion, but we do. And so all the campaigns are kind of driven through that. And then when someone opts into a campaign, there's automation that happens, which is called workflows. So if you opted in for a new patient exam, you may enter a 7-day drip with emails, with call reminders for the front desk or our scheduling team, with text messages. And then it's going to move you through that. And then it knows based on what stage you're in, if you got scheduled or not, or where are you in the new patient journey. And it may add you in a long-term nurture sequence after that, just to stay in front of you if you didn't get scheduled.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the gist of Practice Beacon. And now, we talked about the AI patient intake. That is built and powered by Practice Beacon. And this is not in here, but we have a scheduling team that now can work on the Neon Canvas side or on the HIP side. And they are calling outside of Practice Beacon. And so when they can't call, they can roll over to the AI voice or SMS. And in some cases, if they're already on the phone with the patient, then the AI can kick in and pick up the other inbound phone call.
Wow.
So it's pretty neat.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of mind blowing what is possible with it. I think like the classical criticism, let's say, of digital marketing or SEO or whatever you want to call it has been, well, what's my return on investment? Effectively,
Right.
I'm paying all this money. Like, what have you done for me? Well, if you want to run this system, Practice Beacon, and actually keep up with it and use it, you'll be able to see what the return on investment is.
Mm-hmm.
And when that's tracked, it's always really impressive, like what that return on investment is. And when we talk about like, getting in with this AI website, getting into the ecosystem, some of what I'm referring to is getting into the ecosystem of this software that is really the foundation of all this, which is Practice Beacon.
Mm-hmm.
If you can start with that and commit to it in the same way that you're committing to a practice management software and stick with it, it'll pay its dividends. You get the team used to it, and then you can add on to it, which is kind of cool. And I think that's really what these tools are, is that not every office is going to need all 5. But I would argue that every office that's using marketing should leverage that marketing and the spend and the strategy and the time and the effort with the software like Practice Beacon.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not, you're just not getting all the juice out of the lemon, as it were.
Exactly.
Okay, more tools. So many tools.
2 more tools.
2 more tools. What have we done? We've done AI Web Builder. We've done AI Patient Intake. That one was cool. Practice Beacon sort of sits in the middle of all this. I like that. Good placement. Tool 4 is Private Practice Coach. And then Tool 5 will be the AI Grader, just to whet your appetite. So Tool 4, Private Practice Coach, what is that?
So the coach is all of our training materials, all of our books was put into a database. Cool. And an AI agent was coached on it. So, another LLM we created, right? Yeah. Where any private practice owner in any vertical could come to it and ask about business strategy, marketing strategy, and get really good ideas, really good information, case studies. It doesn't mention anyone specifically, but again, it's pulling from all of our material, from books to resources. So if you want to know how to bonus a certain team member, if you want to know why your meta ads aren't working, if you want to know how you could dig into your SEO or community outreach, et cetera, it'll coach you on all that and give you some ideas. So you can use that by calling a phone number. I feel like most people though are going to want to text it, not call. But if you do want to call and have a conversation with it, you can.
What are you doing this weekend? I'm just going to call the private practice coach for a few hours on Friday night.
I've got a meeting.
What are you up to?
Who's your meeting with?
Yeah. The private practice coach. Is that the name?
Yeah.
I feel like now we need, like, if you're going to call him like a name, like
Terry.
Terry. I don't know.
Coach Terry.
Hey, Coach Terry.
Coach T.
Coach T. I love this idea. I think this is really cool, especially for those who like want to leverage this. It's an automatic, free way to get a second opinion on something.
And a lot of people don't want to read books or, we have the books in audio books or most of them. And even those are broken down into chapters on YouTube. But if someone wanted to call this or text it and say, hey, here's my practice. I know Luke has a book, Front Desk Secrets. Here's some of the issues I'm dealing with. What are some of the footnotes of the book or best practices in the book that I could incorporate into my practice? Boom, it'll tell them.
It's also really good for a team member,
right?
For what it's worth.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's cool.
So, we had all the material. It's like, why not build a coach?
Super creative. I love it. I mean, obviously, I think it goes without saying, but it's a good tool. Probably better, like, to be a client, ask your account manager, and then they can help you actually implement it or have a consultant or, this is sort of like it feels like, again, like a sort of like an entry-level option to leverage all this information, and you use AI as the bridge to provide it, which is pretty sweet. Now, I did run into a doctor on a trip that I was on recently who's on his second read-through of the Practice Paradox.
Very cool.
So he gets bonus points because he doesn't need this. He's reading the book for a second time.
Yeah.
But actually, he would probably love this. Like,
right.
It's like his third read-through. Now I'll just talk to Terry. I'll talk to Coach T. I'll talk to my private practice coach.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just an idea.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Love that.
It's kind of creepy that maybe, we'll actually maybe add a sample call in here or show how it works. I'll call it, but it's my voice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
So it's not Terry. It's
Luke. Yeah. I should have been clear about that.
Coach
It's
Infinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Okay, fair enough. All right, so final tool. This has been very illuminating. The AI grader. What is that?
Yes, the grader. So most people want to know, I'm investing in marketing. Maybe I've hired 3 or 4 different marketing companies, or I'm a startup and I had to bootstrap this thing. Where do I stand? Okay. They can come request an audit, practice diagnosis, and we will develop and build for them a 12-point audit of our findings. It goes through all the search engine ranking reports. It screenshots where you stand versus competitors. It tells you how to fix it, what content needs to be created. It goes through your reviews across different citations, competitor analysis. It looks at are you running Google ads? Are you running Meta ads? And it gives you a strategy for where you need to be in your local market.
That's great. And we've done audits in the past.
Sure.
And I think a lot of other agencies, I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
sure some of them
they
do
use
them.
these.
Yeah.
People hear about it. What we've developed and the quality and the detail and the value put into this agent, I haven't seen anything like it. So, and we've, our sales team, we've been empowering them with these audits for about 60 days, and the results have been incredible. So incredible. That's why we had the idea to build the AI grader.
Cool. So I'm interested in all these tools. If you've never worked with us, don't know what we do, I do think it makes sense to come by, get an audit or an AI grader. How long does that take? Is that something you can come out of the booth and get?
It's literally 5 minutes.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it'll run the analysis. Same thing with the website tool. If you want to start the preview process, you can do that with us at the booth. You'll have a preview probably in about 10 minutes of sitting down with us. And then we can have continued conversation about that and how to, take it over the finish line and what that looks like. But all these tools could be available. Some of them are free, like the coach. We'll give you a business card at the booth. You can call or text the coach anytime. So there's free stuff, and then there's stuff where the entry point may be free, like you can get a preview out of the website builder, but obviously if you want to continue that and finish it, then there is a fee for that. But again, we've made that very attractive and easier and cheaper, a cheaper option while the quality is still very high.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I'm super excited about it. So, all right. So I guess kind of bringing this all home.
Sure.
We have what you call the multiple paths approach. Tell me about that.
Well, again, to kind of go back through the vision, we wanted people to be able to have multiple entry points. And we had this hard decision when we decided to merge. Do we want to come under one brand like an Ion and that's all there is?
Mm-hmm.
Or do we want to keep HIP and Neon running and growing because everybody knows who they are? A lot of really great brand equity. And they're different paths. We were kind of polling our clients and partners, and they were saying, hey, the reason why I came to HIP was for this.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I went to Neon was for this. And, we found that a lot of people were really excited about maybe going and now being able to add on graphic design for Neon Canvas or being able to get Practice Beacon for HIP. And we wanted people to have options. So the core services that HIP and Neon have always offered are just getting better, and you can still choose those.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want amazing branding and photo and video from Neon, you can still get that. If you just want the HIP ads package, which is a big thing we were known for, you can still come and get that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like choose your own path and how do you want it? And now there's more options than ever before to be able to add some things from over here. And then now we have this kind of beacon and North Star Ion developing tools that roll down to both organizations and brands.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool the way that we've set it up to be able to give owners a choice versus just saying, well, now there's just one brand and that's all there is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think the cool thing is that by merging, we've actually created more opportunity, more options, more customization, which based on conversations that I had, that's what people wanted.
Mm-hmm.
They either wanted nothing to change or they wanted to be able to do a hybridized kind of approach where they could, in their minds, benefit to the greatest degree, which is great. Which is, to be fair, that feedback is what drove us to this place.
Exactly.
Trying to find the best thing for everybody.
And I would say with what we're unveiling with Ion, the way that I'm envisioning it is we're building this AI type of technology operating system where we want to create all the tools, the core tools that you need. Obviously, we're not going to create a practice management suite, but all the tools to build, grow, have great marketing, be on the forefront with AI. We want to build all of that so you can come to one place.
Right.
Now, that one place could be HIP, that one place could be Neon, but because of Ion, you're able to have that in either path.
Yeah, sure.
But, I just see marketing companies and, not to talk bad about anybody, but maybe they're only offering website and SEO. Maybe they don't have a strong ad strategy. Maybe they don't have a CRM. Maybe they don't do photo and video. Maybe they're not wanting to develop these AI tools, but that is our vision. Our vision is to be able to create one operating system that you can come and do business with, and we give you all the core offerings that you're going to need, not only today, but for the future.
Yeah. And one of the ways we describe Ion is a practice growth engine. And I like that idea of you're sort of committing yourself to that engine. And it's like in a video game, like as a kid that I'd be playing where, well, I can add like new tires and I can add like a new exhaust and I can add like, as you do all that and now you're adding nitrous oxide, like you go pretty stinking fast, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of the vision that we have for this.
Exactly. Yes, very much customizable to whatever level of growth you want to attain.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's wrap with this. Let's talk. If I'm interested, this sounds exciting to me. I'm a current client. I've never been a client. Whatever I am, what should I do?
I would go to iongrowth.ai.
Okay.
And then I would come by the booth at AAO. Obviously, if you're listening to this episode and it's past the AAO, just go to iongrowth.ai. You can contact us there. You can demo or check out all these tools that we just went through as well.
I love it. Honestly, when I talk about this stuff, I get excited. Like, AI in a way is like scary in different ways. I mean, it's really changing and it has changed marketing.
And will continue to.
And it will continue
massively.
to. Yeah. But I think our commitment is we are committed to the level of service that we've always provided. Obviously, that's going to involve humans and really talented ones that we have on our team. It's also going to involve new tools, new options, and things that we're going to leverage such that it makes the best offering to our clients, our partners, as is possible.
Yeah.
And so that part of it is exciting. It's like it's just new stuff like that we can figure out and leverage and create something that's never been done before.
And
which is very fun.
I would say too to those watching or listening, like especially clients, like if you have an idea, I sent you a call yesterday. I was on with a client. They had an idea. We literally built it in 10 minutes on the call. And now they're able to go move forward. Now, it's not something that we're going to release or add into our tools yet, but it was a pretty cool idea. And so, if you have ideas, if you have feedback, we want to hear that and have a, collaborative conversation.
Okay. I love it. So first episode of what we think is called the Ion podcast. We may change our minds and then our mouths will be moving, but another set of words will be coming out for the new title of this thing. But this was kind of cool. You got to open. Can I close?
Yeah.
Come see us at the AAO. We'd love to see you in Orlando. We've got a really cool booth planned. Thanks for watching. From Luke Infinger, from Kyle Fagala, and from Ion. It's powering all of us at all times. We'll see you very soon. Thanks.